You know, I'm sure a video about 10 horror sequels that surpass their predecessor won't be controversial at all. Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, and I am coming at you today sporting my You Need a Horror Podcast t-shirt. Yes, this was made by Christian Hanahara, and not sure if it's on his Teespring or not yet, but rocking the shirt. Thank you, Christian. Love what we're doing. And we got a new episode dropping Sunday night, which would be, as of the day of posting, tonight. Make sure you check that episode out at 9 p.m. Eastern. It is the night Lee came home. Yes, where we have Lee, aka Drum Dums, and we talk about the Halloween franchise. Today's video I want to do is I've touched on horror sequels before, but I don't think I've ever made a video where I just picked 10 horror sequels, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a second movie in a franchise. I make my case for why I believe they're better than their predecessor. A lot of people agree with. Also, these are not the only 10. These are just 10 that I thought of off the top of my head. So let's get right into 10 horror sequels that surpass the original, their predecessor, whatever you want to say. The first one's fairly obvious. A lot of people agree with this, and that is Friday the 13th Part 2. Now, that's not to take away from how good Friday the 13th is. It's just a lot of us, we watch Friday the 13th, we come for Jason. Sackhead Jason is one of the best Jasons. He's one of the most brutal. He's one of the scariest. He's just relentless. And Sackhead Jason being included in this sequel just puts it above the original for me. Also, I really enjoy Alice. She gets some hate. I think she's an underrated final girl. You're doomed. You're all doomed. I absolutely love this movie. It's such a blast, and in my opinion, this film surpasses its predecessor. Another one that a lot of people agree with, and so some of these won't be controversial, guys. Some of these are like, oh, no-brainers, and then some of these are going to be like, all right, hold on, dude. The next one is going to be Evil Dead 2. Yes, I do believe that this is better than the first movie. Again, the first movie is a classic, and it birthed this whole thing. Having said that, though, obviously the first movie was limited by budgetary restraints, just the time that it came out. A couple years passed, Evil Dead 2 comes out, bigger budget, a little more serious of a production. They kind of knew what they were doing a little bit more, and it shows. I think Evil Dead 2 is funnier. I think it's more memorable. I think it's more well acted, just more well made. And I just think it's an all around better movie than the first film. Now, having said that, I love the first film. This isn't me poo-pooing on the films that preceded these. I just love some of these sequels more. But Evil Dead 2, I think, just hits all the right points that you need it to hit. For me, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, is superior to The Evil Dead. This one might be a little controversial for some people. You guys, if obviously you're fans of the channel, you know that I hold this position, but if you don't, if you're new here, well, get ready for a surprise. The Conjuring 2. I find The Conjuring 2 to be a better film than The Conjuring. Without getting into too much, The Conjuring is a scarier movie. That was one of the scariest theater experiences I had ever had. I still think it might be the scariest theater experience I ever had. Having said that, I think The Conjuring 2 is just a better movie. I feel like there are more layers to the story, where you have what Lorraine's dealing with her own personal and literal demons. Then you have the supposed haunted house. Then you have the twist of maybe she's faking it. There's a lot to the movie. It's carried by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, as all three films in the main line of the Conjuring universe are. And it's just overall a super enjoyable sequel that I think is just a little more all there than the first movie. That is not me hating on the first film, because I love it. But I think The Conjuring 2 beats it out. I do. And again, like I said at the top, guys, this doesn't mean it has to be a 2, the first sequel to a movie, or it has to, it could be a sequel to a remake, and that's what this one is. And the next one is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Obviously, look behind me. You know my love for this movie. This movie's just better than his remake. It just is. I think most people that even don't care for either movie can agree that this is a better movie. He went in his own direction with it. He did his own thing. He was really Rob Zombie. This is his Michael Myers. This is his Halloween movie. His characters got to be fleshed out in the way that he wanted them fleshed out. And I just think overall, it's just a better film. It's just a better film. Now, it's not to say that I don't enjoy the remake on its own, because I do. It has enjoyment, but it pales in comparison to this film. This film is just a far better movie in almost every technical aspect. It's a better movie. Now, this is another one that a lot of people, say it is better than its predecessor. I don't know. You guys let me know if you think it's better. Child's Play 2. Yes, Child's Play 2, in my opinion, is better than Child's Play. There's a few reasons for that. One, you've obviously got the addition now of, we know Chucky is out there. We know Chucky is a possessed killer doll. So we get to see a lot more of him. He gets some great one-liners. You have an absolutely incredible final act in that factory. Just incredible. Better acting from Alex Vincent. The addition of the character Kyle is just incredible. And the camaraderie with Andy. I just think it's a more memorable movie. I think it's more balls to the wall. And I think it's just prime Chucky. Now, having said that, I love the first movie. I do. But the first movie obviously is shrouded more in secrecy, for a good portion of the movie till you get to the end when Andy's mom is basically yelling at Chucky to reveal himself. But I just think Child's Play 2 is a better all-around movie. And for me, Child's Play 2 makes it on the list. Now, another film that I'm going to show the set of, and that's just because I love these sets. Don't hate me for it. And this is one that's not going to be a 2. It's going to be a 3. And that is Saw 3. Yes, Saw 3. I can completely agree that Saw is a modern horror classic. That twist, nobody saw it coming, and if you said you did, you're lying. There is so much about Saw that is great. Narratively, I think Saw 3 is better. I think it's more well acted. I don't even think that's arguable. I think the story has a lot of twists and turns and surprisingly emotional depth. The end, the climax of it and realizing how everything is intertwined was super cool. And overall, I just think it is a super sound, solid, deep film. And Saw 3 is my favorite Saw film. Now, a lot of people will make cases for other movies in the Saw franchise, and that's totally fine. But for me, I think Saw 3 surpasses the original. This one might surprise some people. It's not really a direct sequel, but the ending makes it a sequel. And we've obviously been told it's a sequel. It's in the same universe, yada, yada. But it's a totally different movie. I think it surpasses the original. And that film is 10 Cloverfield Lane. And I don't think this is really that controversial. Although Cloverfield is one of my favorite, and I mean this, one of my absolute favorite found footage, monster films, you name it. I love Cloverfield. 10 Cloverfield Lane, there's just so much more there. John Goodman gives an absolutely fantastic performance in this movie. Most of the movie, you don't know if he's full of it or not. You don't know what's going to happen, and I absolutely love that. Mary Elizabeth Winstead does fantastic in the movie. The whole claustrophobic setting and not truly knowing what's going on outside is fantastic. And then the ending where you think it was all BS, and then you're like, oh, wow, the guy was crazy, but he wasn't lying. It's so layered. It's so well acted. The atmosphere is great. The visuals are incredible. I love this movie. I just think there's more to it. There's more meat on the bone here than Cloverfield. So 10 Cloverfield Lane also checks in. Now I've got 3 more, 2 of which I will name for you guys. And then the last one I will save this one for last because this will be controversial. I know it will. The next one is Dawn of the Dead. And a lot of people will agree. I don't think this is controversial at all. The makeup effects, the acting, the twist on consumerism, Tom Savini just incredible effects. Dawn of the Dead is a classic. Romero has so many movies that are so good. It's hard to be like, oh, is this one better? Are they all just fantastic? They're all fantastic. Most are fantastic. But Dawn of the Dead just stands above the pile. It's well acted. It's well shot. It's got a great score. It's got great kills, great effects. It's action. It's horror. It's memorable. It's just memorable. When people think of zombie films, you think of Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, and Return of the Living Dead. Those are the 3 films I think of whenever I think of a zombie film. So Dawn of the Dead checks in on this list. Second to last on this list is another one that's not a 2, and that is Paranormal Activity 3. Just very quickly with this one, guys, because I have talked about this a little bit before. Paranormal Activity was really responsible for reinvigorating the found footage genre, or subgenre. It didn't pioneer it, but it reinvigorated it. Blair Witch Project pioneered it, really. And I just thought that Paranormal Activity 3 had so much more than just your, spooky ghost haunted house setup. There was so much more to it. The ending of that film scared the crap out of me the first time I saw it. It surprised me. It was wild. And I just think that overall, narratively, acting-wise, with twists, with unexpected things, the stakes, all of it. I mean, I'm rambling a little bit, but Paranormal Activity 3, I feel like, is the best Paranormal Activity film. And I think that was the apex of the franchise. And then it only went down from there because 4 sucks. Now, what's the last movie on this list for me? Well, this one is sure to ruffle some feathers. And again, guys, it is just my opinion. Dr. Sleep. Yes, I find this film better than The Shining. And there's multiple reasons for that. First of all, if you've ever read the book, The Shining, you notice that Kubrick took a lot of liberties and changed quite a bit about King's book. And Stephen King is notoriously, it's been very well documented that he's not happy about that. Whatever, be that as it may, that's their dispute. Take The Shining for what it is, and it's a great movie. It really is. It's a classic, and Kubrick's directing is phenomenal. The problem is, I just feel like Dr. Sleep fleshes things out a little bit better. You really, truly get inside the mind of Danny Torrance. You get to see how he was affected as a child, stages of his adulthood, suppressing his shine, rediscovering his shine, expanding the use of his shine, needing and then getting pulled back into this world that he spent so much time trying to get away from. The score's fantastic. Mike Flanagan's directing, oh my goodness. This movie is gorgeous to look at. The acting, superb. Ewan McGregor was perfect for this role. I'm sorry, but Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat, one of modern horror's best villains, in my opinion. She was incredible. The scene with the baseball player, the kid, incredibly hard to watch. Makes your stomach turn. I mean, it makes your skin crawl. There's so much about this movie. I could go on all day about this movie. Thing about this movie is not only does it address everything from The Shining, it creates its own path with not relying on the movie before it. And then the climax gives you everything you could want as a fan of The Shining, while also sticking super true to the source material. The emotional depth that is here, the acting, I mean, it's just a fantastic movie. Again, this is not me hating on The Shining. I love The Shining. But for me, Dr. Sleep is a better movie. And I will take that to my grave. Shame on those who did not go and see this movie, because it deserved to do better at the box office. Because even if you don't think it's better than The Shining, it's a great movie. It is a great movie. So yeah, that's my rant. Red Ram. So yeah, guys, that's 10 horror sequels that I find better than their predecessor / original / whatever. Please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. What do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think that these are better? A lot of these are better? All of them are better? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Again, guys, thank you so much for supporting us. Go ahead and check us out on social if you haven't already. All the links are in the description below. Also, as of posting this, it is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all of you dads out there. I myself am a dad, so happy Father's Day to us. And I hope it's a great one for all of you. And make sure you guys head over to Christian Hanahara tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. You Need a Horror Podcast. The night Lee came home. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In.